What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of TECSpertZ. My name is Nick Green, the News and Sports Director at WZMB.
My name is Caleb Johnson, sports reporter for the East Carolinian.
My name is Cannon Gates, the station manager for WZMB.
And we are back with yet again another episode here of TECSpertZ. But before we begin, this programming is brought to you by the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill School of Social Work. On-campus Master of Social Work programs include part-time 3-year, standard 2-year, and accelerated 1-year options. Applications are due in early 2026 for the fall semester, and students with a Bachelor in Social Work, Psychology, Sociology, Education, and related majors are encouraged to apply. More information is available at go.unc.edu/UNCMSW. One more time, that's go.unc.edu/UNCMSW. All right, gentlemen, we're going to have a pretty short episode for you guys today as we are on a bye week next week, so we have nothing to really preview for you guys, so that way we can have an episode next week. But that being said, we did have a game on Thursday where the Pirates took care of business against Army 28-6. Gentlemen, we'll start the way we always do. What were your overall thoughts on the game against Army?
Man, it was just freaking electric. It was just exciting to be inside Dowdy Finklin on Thursday night, and to really take charge and beat a good team. The first quarter was absolutely electric. I wish that we could have, came around and completed some drives late in the game. I think there were 4 or 5 times that we possessed the ball in Army territory where we didn't come away with a score in the second half. That was pretty disappointing because I really think we could have hung 40 or 50 points on this team realistically with how good our defense was playing. And it was just a great showing. I was excited to see, well, I'll put it to you this way. I think that at this point, we can say that Caden Hauser and Anthony Smith are both top 25 in the country in their respective categories. Both of those guys are absolute studs. That's a bold take, but I'm putting it out there. We need to give mid-majors some love. And then, obviously the fake field goal for a touchdown, that was amazing. I mean, seeing that in person was pretty crazy. And to all of you Pirate fans that left at halftime because it started sprinkling, you're weak.
I was one of those Pirate fans. In my defense, and I'll actually get into it before I say anything. Now, I've seen some tweets about it, and I completely agree. The reason why people leave is because all the bars and all the restaurants in Greenville advertise they're going to have the game on. And I think that is attributes to a lot. Also, there is a certain beverage that costs $11 in the stadium.
Yeah.
That you can get for $2 or $3 anywhere else. So that doesn't help anything. I say, let Caleb say something.
Well, I wasn't drinking those certain beverages that night, so I had no choice but to stay. Also, my dad was there. Shout out, Dad.
Shout out Caleb's dad.
He's a Navy fan, so we beat Army for him. Went to the Naval Academy, so that was cool to have him there for us kicking Army's tail.
Shout out Caleb's dad.
You're a legend. What he said, though, had no choice. Had no choice to do that.
But yes, I haven't even given my thoughts yet.
Sorry.
Yep, I thought, don't interrupt me. Caleb, take the mic back. Take the mic back, Caleb.
I got it.
So, anyways, besides that, I was drinking those beverages. So legally, I am 21, so it's fine. But anyways, back to the actual game part. First quarter, amazing. 10 out of 10 performance by both sides of the ball. After the first quarter, kind of shaky. We were not finishing drives, doing a lot of things, just not correct. And my thing is with this Pirate team is if we can play a full game, especially on the offensive side of the ball, we can beat anybody in the country. Because there's been certain times all year, it doesn't matter who we've played, that, well, one, we haven't played a full game against anybody. Because,
Campbell.
I was going to say, I guess you'd kind of say Campbell, but it doesn't really matter. Because for the first team offense, we'll say that. Because Coastal, the first half, third quarter looked better. And then even the fourth quarter was backups. State, obviously the first, quarter and a half, it looked really bad as well. And then BYU first, little bit looked pretty good. But after that, not good. So this offense can learn to play a full game. Because you saw it in the first quarter what the offense can do. If they can learn how to play a full game, this team will be perfectly fine. It's just they got to learn how to play a full game, and we can beat anybody in the country. And we played one of the best opponents we're going to face all year in Tulane next week, which we'll preview obviously next week. But overall defense again stepped up to the plate, played great. contained the speed option really, really well. Really, the only bad play was the 6-yard run that set up their lone touchdown score. But bend don't break type defense, we love to see it. This is a team full of dogs, and we've said it before, and I'll say it again. Kind of flip the switch on what we thought, because we thought the defense was really going to struggle and the offense was going to be putting up 50 points a game. Let's flip that. Offense obviously looked good, but there has been some moments of struggle, as I alluded to. Also, Caton Hauser, 4th in the nation in passing yards, was first going into Saturday, because obviously, 4th in the nation in passing yards, and the other 3 are Power 5 guys. So he's doing that, and he's doing it against good teams too. So give it up for him. But 28-6, good win overall. We needed that to start 1-0 in conference play.
And I will say, even on that big run, I want to give a big old shout out. Shout out to Jamarly Riddle. Jamarly Riddle, that's just a great effort play. That's something they teach in the film room, to never quit on a play. And he didn't. He didn't quit on the play. He was able to give their defense and line it up one more time in order for that. Unfortunately, they did get in the end zone on that drive. So in the big scheme of things, I guess it doesn't matter too much, but it is something you teach. Line it up again to give yourselves a chance to hopefully get a stop there. Big something they teach there. Gentlemen, I agree with you a lot. Cannon, you did take a lot of what I was going to say about not really playing a complete game. I did kind of go into this episode kind of preparing to speak about that a little bit. But great minds think alike. Can't say anything on that. I'm not hating. But that being said, I agree with you guys. I mean, I would really like to see more of. I want to see a complete game out of this offense. I mean, we haven't really, and really, let's keep it real. Out of the games we've seen so far, there's not a lot to really complain about at the very end of the day. Sure, we had a few turnovers against Army that I really would like to not have, but at the end of the day, our defense held up for us. Those turnovers didn't really cost us at the end of the day. And then against BYU, those were the big costly turnovers that we had. But at the same time, and that one did cost us a lot more. But, I mean, that's been a new thing. I mean, we were turnover-free going into BYU. We were turnover-free. So, it was Coastal. We had a pick against Coastal. We were turnover-free until that point. So, I mean, we played pretty clean offensive football until then. And then it just kind of, we're going a little downward. But you know what? I still have faith in this. Gentlemen, yeah, there's a lot to, like I said, there's not a lot to really complain about other than, it just wasn't complete after the first quarter. I hate that the only points we scored were on a fake field goal. While the fake field goal was awesome, I hate that that's kind of what we needed to do in order to put more points on the board after we went up 21-0. But, I think that says a lot about our defense, who was able to control the defensive side of the football to hold them to only 6 points. So, it's 50-50 on this one. I think we need to be better all around in order to compete against some of these better teams, especially against the Tulane team who we're going to be playing next. We're not going to talk about that on this week's episode, but we are going to need to play a complete game of football in order to compete against Tulane. Gentlemen, we had some bad turnovers. Is this a concern for you right now with having multiple turnovers in a game 2 weeks in a row, or is this something you think we will clean up over time?
The turnovers aren't as much of a concern to me as the overall efficiency of the offense. I think we saw Caton Hauser turn the ball over so many times last year and come out with big wins. But the difference is they were actually finishing drives a lot more consistently. We were putting up, in the 30s and 40s very regularly. So I would like us to get back to that. Obviously, yes, clean up the turnovers. Who wants to watch turnover football? But I think, this was a great win. Great way to open up conference play. Great team to beat, a team that absolutely put us in the dog pound last year, killed us, literally got our coach fired. They have owned us for the last 20 years, all of the service academies. So the play against the triple option and just getting a win in this one was just huge to me. I know we all sit here, we'll all agree with this, but we can sit here and nitpick as much as we want. But at the end of the day, we just hope we come out with a win. So if there's turnovers, if there's, not finishing drives consistently how we want to see it, then we can work on that next week and get right back to it. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and this was a great one to get.
You know what you did, Caleb?
Hit the nail on the head on the hammer.
Hit the nail on the head on the hammer. That's what you did right there. You said everything. I could have said it more. Don't need to nitpick. A win's going to be a win no matter what. What I wanted to say, though, we said it last week, no Bryson Daly on the field was going to result in a Pirate win. And that's what happened this week, or last week, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Pirates played great. I'm expecting big things next week. As Nick said, we'll talk about next week as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad we finally got a home win since it was 04, 05, something like that. 05 since we beat a Surge at home. Yeah, at home. So glad to see that. Yeah, speed option was going to be tough no matter what. But I mean, we contained it well.
Really well.
They had a couple big drop passes that they probably should have caught, but there's a reason why they're an option team. So, team played well. And as Nick mentioned earlier, shout out Jamari Riddle for that chase down tackle.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, let's keep it real. We didn't play a clean game of football, but they didn't either. I mean, I think you said it. You said it great right there. We definitely did have. I mean, the home crowd influenced it a little bit. I mean, we got to take credit where it's due on that. The home crowd was able to cause some errors in their play. A few drop balls that were huge drop balls on their end, and it's just. I mean, I'm happy that we were able to get a win, like you said. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you get a win, as long as you get a win. So I'll take it however we can get it. Like you said, we can always nitpick about something. There's something we can complain about every week. But we don't like to complain. We like to keep things happy here. So that being said, let's talk about some of the things we did well. What did you guys think we did well this week?
I think we ran the ball well this week. Finally, 180
Agreed.
yards rushing. I mean, I still don't love the fact that, we don't have a lead back per se, but I feel like that's also just nitpicking as well. I think if we have three guys who can get it done collectively and rush for 180 yards, I mean, that is formula for winning football games. Yeah, I'll stick with that. And then I was super impressed with how we stopped the triple option. Like I was fully expecting us to not play honest defense and cheat on everything, and we were going to give up a couple big sizable runs, and we really didn't do that. I thought we played honest. Our linebackers and our safeties and even our corners came out and made some great tackles. So it was just great to see. I honestly was not expecting this outcome whatsoever. So I can't be more happy with this team right now. A lot to work on still, obviously, but that's just the path of a season.
Yeah, I mean, the running game, you're right. It looked awesome, because it's what we talked about. All we really need to do is get those 4 or 5 yard gains to really get us to where we need to be to get to those manageable short passes, those hitches that we like to run in this offense. But outside of that, I mean, the defense, but I'll shout out Samuel Danka. Samuel Danka played very, very well, had that one big sack. There was one play that we all saw. He blew up the block and got a tackle in the backfield. He looked great out there, so I really wanted to shout him out. He's looked good switching positions into the inside at the inside linebacker. I mean, it's kind of tough. He's fast. He's tall. He can do a lot of things. He's strong. I mean, he was an edge rusher at one point. He's 6'6", about maybe 6'7". I don't really know. He's fast, and he's been able to cover sideline to sideline. A guy who I feel like maybe we haven't talked about enough since the season started. We talked about him preseason, but I just want to really bring him up just because we haven't brought him up as much as these weeks have went on. But he's been a stud for us.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think I was hoping y'all would say the run game. I was trying to not set it up that way, but also kind of alluded like I wanted to bring it up. I thought we ran the ball very well too, and kind of like what we were saying about how it is a back by committee. We're running backs by committee, which honestly, if that's how it works, that's how it works. And I don't really, like I said, we can nitpick at that all day long if we want to. I don't think it really does us any good. If we're getting the production out of the running backs, whoever's hot, feed the hot hand. I'm all for it every single week if that's what we got to do to get the running game going. Even Caton Hauser getting the run plays every now and then. I still like to see that.
I don't like him running the ball because they keep running QB power.
I would like to see him get down more. Like if it's open space runs, get down, maybe not take the hit.
We have the option play in the playbook for a reason. I know it's usually for Mike Wright, but you can use that with Caton instead of doing QB power like Caleb said.
I agree with that 100%. So yeah, I would like to see that maybe more, but other than that, that's once again, I feel like nitpicking if I say that. So it's really just I think
that's all what we're gonna do right now is nitpick because I mean that's really all you can do, especially after we had a good game and a good win.
Thank you, Kenneth. But yeah, it's like I said, we can nitpick all we want. We did some things really well though, and at the end of the day, we got a big old nice W, starting conference playoff 1-0, which is always nice to do. Gentlemen, do we have any final closing remarks before I end this podcast?
I think one person that we talked about consistently saying that he was going to be a key to our success that actually, got the chance to make some of those plays with Jocko Petaway. It was only 3 receptions for 24 yards, but those 3 receptions came in pretty big areas of the game, and they're I think one or two of them were pretty explosive plays. If I'm not mistaken, one of them was a screen pass that only went for a couple yards, and then the rest of them were nice chunk plays. So it'll be interesting to see him get more involved. I liked the aspect of his quick speed coming out of the line of scrimmage on those quick short throws. So that'll be something to look out for.
I don't have much. I'll just say this: I love a good deep ball from Caden Hauser and Anthony Smith. I love to see it. That's all I got to say.
They caught that one. I wish they caught that one.
Oh yeah,
the first drive of the game,
Mhm.
the roof would have came off.
Oh yeah, but the other one was pretty nice, and Anthony made a good adjustment on the ball to get over there. And you could tell that whole play, Caden was not looking anywhere else.
No.
You could tell. I mean, he was in the pocket for a while. So shout out to O-line for that one. O-line had great blocks on that one to really set him up. You could tell that's all he was going to was Anthony Deep.
Yeah, no, 100%. The only thing I wanted to bring up was
sorry. Can I say one more thing? About
Sure.
the passing yards, as I mentioned earlier, the three guys ahead of him have been in only shootouts this whole year for the most part. Especially Sawyer Robertson at Baylor, only shootouts. They played a couple OT games. And then Jaden Mayava at USC, same difference, only OT games. And then Darian Mensah, kind of, but still. There's been a couple shootouts for them as well.
Yeah, no, the only other thing I want to say is shout out ECU Athletics for what they're doing with the drone show. That was dope. I'm not going to lie. Fireworks, happy we're keeping those around. That's always nice
Agreed.
to see. There's a lot of things that ECU Athletics is doing right. I will say, I know you said it earlier in the podcast about the fans leaving with a little bit of drop of rain. I'm willing to forgive this one a little bit more than I am the BYU game, only because it's Thursday night. It's rain, the rain, and at that point, the game was 21-0, I think, at that point. Yeah, because the touchdown didn't come until the third quarter, and we kind of were controlling the game. It felt that way anyway at that point, so I'm willing to excuse that one a little bit more. I wish there were more fans in the seats when the game started, but
that's on just the stadium because they're so bad at getting people in.
Oh, yeah. But other than that, I think I'm willing to excuse the people leaving when it started raining because you're going to see that all over the place except for like a top 5 matchup all throughout the country. You're going to see that. Once it starts raining, fans don't like to sit in the rain for the most part. You'll see. Yeah. I mean, I agree. But, for the most part, I'm willing to excuse this one a little bit more. That being said, though, I think Cannon did bring up a great point about the watch parties being held in the downtown bars or whatever. Obviously, if you want to watch the game and not get a ticket to the game, sure, you can go to a local sports bar, watch the game. It's on nationally televised. I get it.
It's free for students. Go to the game.
Students, I agree. Students don't have an excuse.
None.
Students who don't like alcoholic beverages.
Unless you're working.
Unless you are working, or Thursday night. I mean, if you've got Friday exam, maybe. But that being said, I'm not talking about Thursday.
I did have a buddy who had a Friday exam.
I say Thursday night, we've got a little bit of leeway on this one. I will say it was also dope that Sports Center came to campus too. And I think we have to throw that out there too.
I was there.
Mr. Gates was at that at Sup Dogs.
Having some beverages
Love
at Sup
that. Sports Center, hopefully we can get you guys back in a few weeks because we'll be another Thursday night game. We'll be the only Thursday night game here in a few weeks. So hopefully y'all run it back. We can come back.
Also, I don't know if I said it last week or not. I know I've told you before. Personally, I think the best game is a Thursday night football game.
Not in the Boneyard, Daddy Ficklin Stadium.
That's how I feel.
Sports Center, if you want to come out for that one, you're not going to want to miss that one. I promise you that. That being said, I think that's all we got for this week's episode. We're going to preview Tulane in our next episode, but that's all we got for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of TECSpertZ. We'll be back again with you guys next week. Until next time, go Pirates.